So, students, let's begin with the stanza wise explanation. So, let me read these lines for you all. So, I'm going to consider first 8 lines. So, the lines are like far, far from gusty waves, these children's faces, like rootlets wits, the hair torn round their pallor, the tall girl with her way down head, the paper skimming boy with rat's eyes, the stunted, unlucky hire of the twisted bones, reciting a father's gnarled disease, his lesson from his desk, at the back of dim class, one unnoted, sweet and young, his eyes live in a dream of squirrel's game, in tree room other than this. So here you can see one word, that is a gusty wave. Gusty wave is nothing but it's a kind of current affairs of the world, of which these the children staying in a slums areas, they are deprived of. So let's start the explanation. So as already said, that the poem actually describes a primary school in a slum. You can see over here, children studying in a slum classroom depicts social injustice, and you can say perpetual poverty prevailing among the slums dwellers. And these things I have already told you when I was discussing the theme of this particular poem. Now, in the first stanza, you can see over here that Spender describes the miserable condition of the children. So, going through the lines, you can see over here that Spender describes the miserable or the pathetic condition of the children over here. The faces of the children are unusual, unlike, it's not similar to what we actually see the today's generation student studying in a English medium school. So they are supposed to be unlike the usual children of the school, you can say. So instead of being enthusiastic about, instead of being exuberant, or instead of being, you can say, energetic, they are like rootless weeds, withered and worn out, you can say. So if you go through the lines, you can see the two words, that is rootless weeds and rat's eyes. So they are a kind of two phrases which has been used over here, that actually shows that the children are undernourished. So obviously they are unclean and untidy, as they are malnourished, you can say, sick and hungry. So here there is a description of one word is there, that is weeds. So weeds are supposed to be unwanted object, stuff in the garden. So are these children in the slums, the unwanted in the society, and they are supposed to be the black spot according to the higher strata of the society. So they do have the pale faces, you can see the lines over here. Their hair seems to be uncombed, and in a line you can say a tall slim girl has her head bowed down, as due to one reason, that she is over exhausted physically because of the malnutrition, and emotionally because of poverty. And this is the reason why the tall girl weighed down head, and this is only the reason. Now the other students of the class are also in the same situation, and in these lines you can see there is a boy who is a thin as paper again because of malnutrition and lack of civic amenities, you can say. He has eyes like that of a rat, searching for food and betterment. you can see over here another child in the class who is a victim of genetic disorder. You can see a line over here that stunted means arresting. I mean, uh, arresting the attention of a people. So the boy seems to be arresting the attention of the people, and he is supposed to be unlucky hire. Hire means successor. So in this line you can say that the child in the class who is a victim of genetic disorder has gnarled bones and stunted growth, and actually he has inherited this, you can say, debilitating disease, that is arthritis, from his father, and recites his lesson from his desk in a mellow or a weak voice, you can say. And in one corner of his poorly lit, or you can say ill equipped class, is a sweet, unnoticed young child, and he seems to be lost in the in the world of his own dream. So, in a nutshell, what you can say that the dull and the monotonous classroom does not interest him, and hence his mind deviates towards a squirrel in her tree room. He too dreams of fun and the frolic in an open space. So, this is altogether the explanation of the first 8 lines of this particular poem.